Okay, welcome everybody. Laura St. John here, a little bit under the weather, so luckily we have an amazing team who's going to lead you through. We're launching Operation Big Bang, and with Operation Big Bang, we're literally going to explode. I'm going to invite you all to please mute your line if you're not speaking, just because right now it's a little loud. So mute is on the bottom left. There we go. I'm going to just mute everybody's lines here. If you can't mute them, no, pretty loud. I think that's better. Okay. Welcome. Okay, so we're launching Operation Big Bang, which is explosive from the inside out, which comes from you and goes out to the world, Isagenix being the vehicle. Every week we have a different Every week we have a different theme. So there's two things going one on the business side and one on the strong, confident living side that correlates. So for example, this week is Blitz Week, where you're literally making your list of everybody you know. We're going to start with everybody you know before we get into who's your target market, who's your target audience, and how are you expanding further. Always start with your who you know. So Lauren's going to walk you through how to make that list. She's going to walk you through hot list, warm, and cold. Then we'll give examples of how to reach out to those people. And know that the hardest people to always reach out to are your cold market, the people that you haven't really talked to in a real long time, or who are just people that are cold. On that list, that's why we match it with Strong Confident Living. Next week, we launch our 6-week challenge. And with the 6-week challenge, it's a really easy way to hit up people you haven't talked to even in years, saying, I thought of you because, and hey, we've got this awesome challenge going on. I'd love for you to be a part of it. So I'm going to let Lauren first talk to you, and Kat and anyone else who wants to chime in about how to make that list, where to find that list, how many people should be on your list, and then number 2, how to reach out to them. So that's what we're going to spend a dedicated week on that. And then next week is presentation week, where you're actually setting appointments and presenting to those people. Go ahead, girls, take it away.
Yeah, so we started to kind of talk about it when we were sitting on the panel the other day, but we basically did it as a beta testing, and Laura posted the Eric Worre login information inside the group. So just make sure you do modules 1 and modules 2 this week. And instead of doing 30 days and 4 weeks, we're just cramming it into 3 weeks and just doing it. And when we say blitz, a lot of people are like, what is a blitz? Blitz is just like high volume and momentum all at one time. So the more that we're all doing the exact same thing at the same time, the more energy is just being thrown into the universe that we're going to receive that just as back really strong. So if all of us spend this week and we are just like writing down every single person that we know, going through that list, reaching out to people, literally blitzing it, that is going to create so much massive momentum within our group. So this first week, like Laura said, is just going to be reaching out to people. The second week in creating that list, the second week is going to be actually setting the appointments, and the third week is closing the sale and really getting people into the group. However, because we're doing the challenge starting on Monday, this is going to be a very important week to even almost speed up the process, because you can use the momentum of this, use the challenge to really get people going. So we were part of the beta testing, and all of us have had really great results and just had a lot of aha moments, and it just makes it super clear and gives you a lot of clarity on exactly what to say to people, because so often we get so excited and we want to reach out to these people, but we don't even know what to say. So by really getting clear and like categorizing it into your hot market, your warm market, and your cold market, you're going to have perfect verbiage for each one so that you can pull from those scripts and know exactly where that falls. And then wherever you're hesitating with things is usually where you feel that hesitation too, or you feel that resistance. So that's where you're going to be able to use one of us. So, pull from one of us that has already done it to be able to help you through the process. So just this week, when we say create your list, we decided not to put necessarily a number on it, because that's going to be different for everybody. But start with your phones and literally go through your phone. All of your contacts, start in your A's and go all the way to your Z's, and just start to write down every single name that you think, okay, this would be a perfect fit. And don't make assumptions, don't have judgment. You know, there are going to be people that you're like, oh, I would never reach out to them. Put them on the list. You have no idea. Like, this is a great way just to reconnect with people, deepen relationships with old friends. You have no idea where people are suffering in silence, and just really, I don't know what just happened to my computer, but I can still see you guys. But you have no idea like where people are at in their life. So just put them on that list and start to just categorize it. Create a hot one, create a medium one, and then a cold one. So the hot one is going to be your best friends, your family that you could literally call and be like, do this with me. Like, join me, lock arms with me, do this with me. That's going to be your hot list, people that you know very, very well. Your medium list is people that they're not your best friend, they're not your family, but you've known them for a while, or you know them fairly well and that you feel comfortable reaching out to. And then your cold list is going to be more, you've never talked to them, you don't know them very well, or you know them through a mutual friend, they're acquaintances, or they're just followers on your Instagram or Facebook pages, but you haven't yet reached out to them. So once you have your hot, medium, cold, you start to create the list from your phone, then move on to your Facebook. Literally, you can go on your Facebook friends and print your entire Facebook friends list. So this will help you too. And the point being too of this is it's not necessarily you're going to reach out to every single person on these lists within this week, but it's going to give you a great sense of, you're going to be able to have this whole list for the whole year. So every time you're like, okay, I need someone to reach out to for my 5 people a day or whatever number you have, you can go from and pull it from this list. Then go to your database, go to your contacts, go to all of your emails, everywhere that you have contacts, start to go through them so that you have that list. We all of us pulled around 500 to 600 names, but that could be different for everybody. You might have 200 or you might have 1,000 people, whatever feels right for you. And then you're going to start to go through those, and this is where Laura really stresses like the inspired action. If you're not feeling it, don't go into action. So try to find that what's going to put you into that inspired state, even if it means listening to a podcast, listening to, Peter Kelly's Why Celebration 2014 until you're just feeling it, and then go into that inspired action and start reaching out to people. Before I keep going, are you guys all with me?
Yeah, can I just add something really quick? One thing I was going to say was, like, it was even hard for me with the listing. So for your list, exactly what Lauren said, like, I love that you said that, just don't judge. Like, just put people down. And I actually, like, thought of people that I hadn't contacted in a long time. Like, people that I had reached out to like 3 years ago when I started this came back up. So you'll be surprised who you find. And even when you talk to people, also ask for referrals. This is something that was like really hard, but that can be another way to get in contact. Like, be like, hey, maybe this isn't for you, but maybe you know someone that is. It kind of takes the pressure off them too. So always ask for a referral.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when you go like, so great verbiage for like your hot list is people that you know. So with the challenge starting on Monday, that's going to be people that are like, we're kicking off Resolution Revolution on Monday. We're so excited for this challenge. We just came back from NYKO. I am so pumped. I thought of you because, you've been struggling with your weight, or you work out all the time and you might not be seeing results, or whatever makes you think of them. But it's a perfect opportunity to introduce them to the 6-week challenge and be like, we're all kicking this off for 6 weeks. It's short enough that, it's guaranteed results and keeps people motivated, but long enough that like it really just breaks you through and helps you create it as a lifestyle. But it allows you to just reach out to those people that that you feel really comfortable, or like Darby and I were saying yesterday, just be honest and be like, you know what, I'm starting this new journey. I've never felt better in my entire life. We've talked about your goals in the past, and I thought of you because I just think this would be just so perfect for you. These are going to be people that you know really well. I mean, if they're your family, Eric Worre stresses, you can literally say to people, I'm doing this and I really want you to support me on this. Would you be open to learning more? Your goal is always just to kind of create the next appointment. So when you reach out to them, it's not necessarily to close them in that second. It's just to invite them into the next step. So if they're like, they don't really feel ready yet, then it's like invite them into that 6-week challenge to at least watch, and then make sure you're following up with them. If you know them really well and you're like, lock arms and join me, then it is that opportunity just to get them to enroll right there. Erin or Kat, do you guys have any more verbiage you want to use for the hot list?
I'm gonna
No, I think you covered it really well. I was going to say my favorite, I was just typing this in the chat, but my favorite quote from Eric Worre is that if you focus less on like enrolling in that first conversation, but our goal is really just to educate people and provide solutions for what they're looking for. And so if you focus more on just educating, and just getting them to the next step, having the next look, thank you, that I think should be something that you can think about too, and that'll help when you're in these conversations with people also.
Yeah, like exactly. She like nailed it. Is like if you look at this as like even a year-long thing, like this is your goal for the year, this is your list for the year. Eric Worre says always add if you could add 2 new names to this list every single day, that's your goal. So when you're out in public, when you're meeting new people, always be adding to that list. But your entire goal is just to like allow people to know that this is what you're doing, this is what you're part of, this is the momentum of Isagenix, that they might not be ready to make that decision today, but when they are ready to make that decision within their health goals, they know to go to you. So that's the biggest thing, is to educate them on what you're doing with that. Does anyone else need specific verbiage?
The only other thing I was going to add was also just say, like, I trust you. Even if it's like your parents, whatever, be like, I just want to give you my presentation I'm trying to practice. Like, that could be another, you know, just be like, I really trust you. I want to practice on you. Can I tell you my presentation? And then they'll hear it, even if they don't want to, and you'll be able to practice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to give another tip. One, before you start can you guys hear me? Yeah? Okay. Before you start messaging anyone, always have the outcome in mind of what you want from this. Like I literally, if this is a blitz week, I know, you know, I'm very known for my imagination, but I will literally sit there first and be like, where do I want to be next Sunday before our kickoff? And I will sit there thinking, I want to feel so positive that I've reached out to as many people as I possibly could in 1 week's time, to just say, I thought of you because, whether they were warm, hot, or cold, I could always use that magic Ellen line saying, I thought of you because whatever comes out afterwards is going to be authentically from your heart. But by next Sunday, where do you want to be on 121 at our kickoff for the Strong Confident Living Challenge? You want to have reached out to as many people as possible with as much positive response because you spoke from your heart. And that's what we ask of you. There's no other expectation. And that's why I love that Laren just said, we're not going to say contact 500 people or 50 people. Kat made a good point earlier and said that 1 out of 10 people are likely going to move forward to the next step with you. So have the call to action ready. I thought of you because, but then have that next step. And I would love to sit down and chat with you, or I would love 10 minutes out over the phone so I could explain to you how game-changing this past weekend was for me. So, and think of both the opportunity and the products. I want you to always picture 2 doorways that you're leading people through. The first doorway could be the products, where you're just saying, oh my God, we got this awesome challenge coming up. I thought of you because, or I just went to this incredible conference and learned so much of the science. I thought of you because. And don't diminish yourself of the other doorway, which is the opportunity. And you could literally be reaching out to people just to talk with them about the opportunity. Coming off of NYKO, I am more jazzed than ever about where our business is going in this next year. And I want to invite as many people possible to be part of it with us. And I'm going to reach out to so many people that just about the opportunity, saying, I just had an explosive weekend within our incredible team, like almost 30 of us under one roof. Like, I cannot wait to share with you what we're putting together for August. And I would love for you to be part of this opportunity. I thought of you because, and then just say, because you've got great entrepreneurial skills. Or like, you know, the way I first reached out to Carly Cordova, who came, you know, on this amazing trip and is blossoming beyond blossoming. I remember saying, I thought of you because you're such a hard worker. You are so into helping other people. Like, just be legitimate of what you see in other people and reach out to them with what's in your heart for them, but then get it to the next step. So close your eyes before you send that text message and say, What do I want from this text message? I want to get a call with this person. I want to get a meeting at Starbucks next week, and push everything to very specific times for next week, because next week is presentation week. So that's what I've got to say. Thank you.
I have a question. Can people hear me? I don't know if I'm muted or unmuted. Oh, so this is the first time I've done Zoom, so sorry. One of the people I reached out to kind of sound interested, but what would be a good response in regards to them saying it sounds like one of those pyramid things? Like what?
You said that already?
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I already got that.
Right, can I respond to that real fast?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's part one of my question. Part one of my questions. So
Okay.
think about what you guys' responses are. Secondly, I'm really super new into doing this again. And so my knowledge on the product, I need to do like a 3-way, the first probably 4 people. So I need to know how. I am not technologically really tight like you guys are in these things. So I need to be kind of walked through on how the hell do I even set up a 3-way? How do I make it as easy for the person to join in with me and whoever my third person is? Like I need to kind of like baby step all this stuff.
I kind of feel the same way, Andrea. So I'm with you on that.
Okay, good.
I have someone also that's interested, and I just want to, get it started and do it right. But I want to know what I should actually say. I figured first I should ask her what her goals are, and then recommend a pack. But I just from that point on, I just want to make sure I do it right, without looking too
Right.
pushy. So I agree.
Exactly.
I'm always happy to do a 3-way call, so just send me a Facebook message or whatever. I know Lauren and Aaron and whoever, so Laura, I'm happy to. So just let me know. If you have an iPhone, it's super easy, and you just literally hit merge, and you just call the other person, and then you merge it back. It's
Okay.
super
I have
easy.
a Droid. So is that just an iPhone thing?
That's
No,
how it is
you
with
should
the
be able to do
iPhone.
it
We'll
with
have
the
to
iPhone.
Google the Android. I don't know.
Okay, I can figure it out too. I'll ask around, or if somebody else has a Droid. I know I'm a reject with a Droid, but I like Droids better.
Andrea, whoever's doing the 3-way call with you, like if it were me, like you could just give me the phone number and I could set it up too.
Oh, okay.
You
All
know?
right, good to know. Now, how about the pyramid
Okay,
thing?
so
What would be a
so
good response?
actually that was the one other thing I wanted to say. Wherever you secretly hesitate on this business, you will receive that hesitation back in your initial resistance that you get back from other people. Like I was so skeptical and scared of the business model in the beginning. That's all I would get. I don't get that anymore at all. I don't know if it's because of my posture change or whatever, but again, whatever you're hesitant on. So if you're price hesitant, you'll get a lot of people that are going to complain to you about the price. Whereas
Right.
if you know it's worth every little bit of iota of its price, you're not going to get that. So just first, I want you all to recognize, especially during Blitz Week, as you're reaching out to people, if you receive kind of a pattern of the same resistance over and over again, it's just look at it as a great epiphany for yourself of this is a very specific area that I need to grow in. Okay, that's what I want you to really think about.
And really, I have a really quick question too. It's like really in the first conversation, I mean, I don't even bring up the fact that they can, I mean, not immediately. I don't bring up the fact that they can make money, doing this, not in the very first conversation I have with them.
Well, I didn't bring it up. It was asked me. When I just started talking about isogenics, and it's exciting, and you're going to feel good, and you're going to lose the weight that you want. It's just a lifestyle change, and there is a possibility of supplementing your income. That's all it took, and all of a sudden, sounds like it's like a big red frickin' flag went up. And honestly, I didn't really know how. I go, it's absolutely not like that. There might be similarities as to growing a team. I go, but it's. I don't like Laura said. If I do stand behind the product, but I don't know it inside and out, and so I'm probably putting out an entry of not really knowing my product before I'm yakking about it. Does that make sense?
Can I interject real quick?
Yeah.
So again, if you go back to the people who become the most successful at this from the get-go, you know, it's funny because if you look at the statistics, and Laura, you might be able to remind me of the numbers again. The people who are within the first 6 months of doing the product are the most successful at signing people up. Why? Because they go off of more of what they're feeling. They don't have a freaking clue about what they're talking about. It has nothing to do about knowing the products, what the products do. All they talk about is, oh my God, I'm feeling amazing. You need to try this. And I don't even know how it works. And it's funny because they talk about this. They've talked about this in other trainings, that within the first 6 months, you see the highest increase in people's enrollment. Because again, they're not getting stuck in their heads with, oh, I don't know X, Y, and Z. I don't know the comp plan. I don't know what to say. You got to go back to how does it make you feel? And again, how, not necessarily the ideas of being a product wizard or a product, knowing everything, because you don't have to. And you can also say, and Laura talks about this a lot, I don't know, but we can find out that information. Because there's an oodle of information online that you can always refer back to, because you don't want to get into a product knowledge war with people. You don't want to get into any types of war. You just keep going back to how you feel and why you thought of them. And when people always come back with the idea of like, oh, is this a pyramid scheme? All I do is I say, no. That's it. I'm like, no, this is not a pyramid scheme.
Yeah. Thank you, Scott.
Just say no. I was going to say the same thing. If you explain yourself, you're basically putting yourself on the defensive, right?
Yeah. You're feeding it.
Yeah,
You're right.
You never need to defend yourself. So I was just going to say as simple as no. Is this one of those pyramid scheme things? No. And usually it's just one of those things that they just don't understand, or they only have their own past references. So you have to understand everyone's coming from their own past reference points. Some might be really good. Some might be not so good. There's a lot of things out there. Like my sister always says, you can find bad massage therapists. You can find bad chiropractors. You can find bad dentists. You can find bad network marketing companies, right? So it doesn't mean that every massage therapist is bad or every network marketing company is bad. So everyone always has their references, and you just have to appreciate that. So one of the Eric Worre trainings that we learned that Isagenix trains us on too is feel, felt, and found. I totally know how you feel. I felt the same way. Then I found that Isagenix is different. Their integrity and their no compromise standard is not only in their products, but in their business model too. I feel like I've partnered with an amazing company. So instead of explaining or backtracking or whatevering, like defending yourself, you just go on, I feel like this thing's amazing and I understand how you feel. I felt the same way, but I found that this thing's incredible. This business model rocks. Like I see mechanics turning into millionaires. I see, whatever, you could go on, but flip it to the positive story instead of defensive story.
Awesome. Thanks so
Or
much.
the other thing I heard, it was like, oh, have you heard of Amazon? It's like that. You get it in the mail. It's like very simple. People know what online shopping is. Sometimes I'm like that. Oh, it works like Amazon. You just order it.
Like, no, it's actually genius. It's like premium organic groceries shipped to your front door.
Yeah, like everyone knows Amazon. Like, hey, have you ever heard of Amazon? Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But yeah, like the more you feed things like that, it's like the more it's like you're trying to defend it.
Right.
So, but
okay.
Of it,
I think
the big
full disclosure, it was my sister. So but it was a good kind of a test to, like, how am I? Cause I did defend it because I do believe in it. But I did say, no, it's not. That's why I said, I go, no, it's not like that. But I didn't have anything
if it's Kelly, be like, no, and it's actually genius. Let me sit down and show you.
Right. And I will. Today I've just been like kind of out of it.
Yeah.
But thanks for everything. That's awesome.
Technically, Andre, do you know what do you know technically what a pyramid scheme is?
Well, okay. I know what a pyramid, but when you add scheme onto it, it makes it sound bad. So the pyramid part, I think, is the good building part of it.
Yeah,
you
so
do
like
it, you and two friends, and those two friends and two friends, and it builds. I know kind of know what that is, but the scheme part of it is what makes it a negative.
Yeah, so the old school pyramid scheme was when you transfer like a product or service that actually didn't exist. So it was almost a transfer of money. So they would say, here's a product, buy this product, but no one was actually using it. They were just, it was like a transfer of money. For you working in the hair industry, I have a lot of stylists on my team and like people in the beauty industry. So I should say, like, for example, with Kerastase, there's the general manager, VP of sales, regional director, and all of these people. But they're putting millions into advertising, editorial, fashion, marketing, everything like that, where it's all diluted. So no one's actually earning that money. But if that person at the very bottom was to be sharing what they're and referring, instead of putting all the money into all those steps, it's put back into all of those people that are referring and sharing the product.
Ah, good to know. Thanks, Lair.
Okay, so to recap, and we'll close up, is this week, Blitz Week. Your whole point is to text message or Facebook message everybody you know and put everyone you know on a hit list. Even if you say I would never connect with this person, just put them on the list for the effort of writing their name down, because it will just put you in a good practice of writing a million names down on a list. If you have one, like I have one, I'm going to start a brand new one. So we're all starting fresh this week. What's so awesome is we're going to do these Blitz weeks, like very specific Blitz times, like a handful of times throughout 2018. We're going to do them 5 times. We're going to see how effective this one is as a group, and we're going to do them cohesively. So you're going to go back to this list. We're going to be adding to this list all year. But this is make the list, reach out to everyone you can. So by Sunday 121, you feel like you hit everybody you could. And with the intention of what is next with this person, which is setting up a call. If you're not comfortable doing a one-on-one call, set up a 3-way call. Sometimes I do it for the first 3 to 5 calls with people, and then you're good to go. Sometimes people are like, I think I can handle it, and I'll just give you the questions that to ask people on the phone, which is next week, which is what we touched upon at the training. But it's what's your goal and what's holding you back? What resonated with my post? You know, if you guys are posting, which you should also be posting every day, something about anything that gets people curious about your lifestyle. But it's what's your goal? What's holding you back? You're going to hear all their pain points. I just posted the verbiage from Eden Slobin of how to lead with the value pack, because everyone should be leading with the value pack. And again, this is where if you're not comfortable, use us as a 3-way call, because those of us who are experienced have no problem leading with the value pack. Okay. And if you, again, I believe that everyone could do their one-on-one calls, but if you're not 100% confident in it, that's when you use a 3-way call.
Cool.
And that's all next week. You should be setting up millions of calls for next week. And then what we'll also do next week is, if you're not comfortable doing these one-on-one calls and meetings and even 3-way calls, we'll definitely have more presentation style times where you can just invite people into like a global call or presentation. Okay.
Laura, I have a question. I'm going to make my list, and there could be people on my list that, I haven't even spoken to in a long time. So basically, I feel the first thing I need to do is reconnect with them and talk to them before I can actually put this out there. I mean, that's, I think that's also part of the first step for me. And okay.
So that's your cold market. Your cold market is even if they've been warm friends in the long past, you haven't talked to them in a while. So the cold people, you just are basically re-amping up a relationship. It might be a couple weeks, right, before you even bring up Isogenics with some of those people. It might just be, hey, how's it going? And like Erin said at the training the other day, like, what's the worst case scenario? You've rekindled friendship with some people.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised that people are paying attention usually to your social media. So like if you're posting about NYKO, they might actually be like, oh, I saw you on your trip, and it will open the door to be able to talk about it.
Okay. Well, that's how somebody actually reached out to me. They saw it, and someone I haven't spoken to, and they saw it, and they're like, I really would like to talk to you. I would like to know more what you're doing. So that was like the first step. So I thought that was really cool. So
Also, if there's people who make you nervous, like, or are very like influential, or you almost like in some way put them up on this like pedestal, Eric Worre in the module gives really good verbiage to go and watch it. Don't get caught up in the planning and the learning from it, but you could watch it for good verbiage, or I can skim back through it and write it out for you. But he does a good job of saying like, I know this isn't for you, but this is kind of what you're looking for, because there's certain people, like, especially if you're talking about the business opportunity and they're making a lot of money and things like that, the way he words it is almost like you're taking it away from them, like taking the opportunity away from them. Like, I know this isn't for you, but would you be okay if I like, you know, explained it to you what I'm doing, and maybe you have someone in mind that would be a good referral? And then it kind of opens the door to be like, wait a minute, why isn't this for me? And it actually piques their interest to want to learn more.
Okay, thank you. I got it.
And then the old kind of inactive, like go back on your like little tree in your, what's it called, back office?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like go down and you can see who's inactive and maybe
re-engage.
touch base with them again.
Okay, that's a good idea.
And remember, your brain always needs a target. Always. So what is your target this week? What is your target between now and February 4th? We're purposefully doing a 3-week process of this is Blitz week, where you're reaching out, making a list and reaching out to everybody. Next week is presentation week. And then the last week is following up with those people and closing them if they're interested to do it.
Okay. Thank you.
You know, 12 people, you get $1,000 bonus.
Yeah.
If people say they're not interested, don't let it defeat you. It's just not now. Take it as not now, or they just need to know more, and just move on. It's not their time. But if they're like, I'm not interested, be like, that's okay. Like, you just never know. Maybe it is in the future, but you keep that door open. So it allows them to know maybe in the future, it could be a year from now, it could be 5 years from now, that they do decide to change their mind and come back to you.
Okay.
Yep.
I wasn't, Scott and I were a no for years to our enrolling sponsor. And thank God our no, turned into a yes. So
You can also, wait, one real quick. You can also use that no as, and Eric talks about this too, of being like, well, I understand that's great, but do you know of anyone who might be interested in, can you help me out?
Right.
Like, because I'm still looking to help people. Maybe there's someone who might be interested in this. He does a good job of kind of flipping that around and kind of prospecting through the prospect that's not ready yet.
Right.
I reached out this morning to one of my really good friends. I was at coffee with her last week, and we weren't even talking about Isagenix, but she's getting married, and she was saying, like, when she eventually has kids, she wants to, like, get out of sales and stop traveling so much, and wants to be home more with her kids, and her fiance is transitioning into the fitness industry out of the spa industry. And so I reached out to her this morning, and I was like, I just have to be honest, like, you've been heavy on my heart. And while I was at this event this whole weekend, I couldn't stop thinking about you based on like the conversation we were having last week. And it's just, this is such an opportunity. Would you be open to learning more? And she's like, I didn't think that it's something I would be interested in, but I'm absolutely willing to learn more. So it's like, always say that, like, are you open to learning more? If I sent you a video, would you be willing to watch it? If I put you on a 3-way call, would you be opening to listening to about the products? Or, the whole, if I, would you?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, so we're gonna do these calls on Mondays. I had posted out a poll for the times, and I think this is the time that was most liked by all. We're gonna always record these, but we'll keep the feedback going right now in the New Year's Kickoff 2018 group for now. And I'm excited, guys. I'm excited to see I'm excited for you to take your energy from this past weekend and roll it into an excitement. No matter what, remember, text words is 7% of communications. 93% of communication is typically body language and tone of voice. So when you are text messaging someone, you're extracting 93% of that communication. So put lots of I'm so excited, lots of exclamation points, and let them feel your energy through your words. Another thing that you could do is a little voice to text memo, especially for your hot list people. You don't have to type it out. You can record a little message and send it to someone as a voice message so they can hear your excitement. I obviously can't do that with this voice, but I want you guys to really think about, how am I getting my excitement through to this person? What's the outcome that I anticipate? And put a number in your head. I mean, I want to enroll like 20 people. So that's my goal. And I would love for you guys to share your goals. I want to hit this thing big, and I am going to be leading a lot of opportunity, because there's no reason, after this house, of seeing all of you guys this weekend, you gave me so much fire to lead with the opportunity and be like, come with us. This team is on fire. There's nothing that should hold anyone back from joining in. So I'm excited to see where this goes.
Me too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's
I want to sit on the swing with Maya.
Text us if you're like, hey, I have a question. How would you approach this person? And you just need verbiage. Just text us and we can help you.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for being there.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Everybody feel better.
Maya, we got it. It's beautiful there.
Oh, pretty.
What's
Oh,
that?
it's snowing here. Yay.
Maya?
Yeah, it's snowing here.
Yeah, it's snowy here too.
It's kind of nice though. Like a nice day just to stay inside and kind of just get your act together.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Anyhow. Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right.
Well, Laura, I hope you feel